Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now. News and rumors on a Monday coming up in just a couple of seconds. First, though, get your mailbag questions down below. Doing an earlier mailbag this week, use the hashtag Eagles, be a subscriber, you know the drill. Go down below and ask me any Eagle-related question that you possibly want. All right, let's jump into the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors here on a Monday, and we start with a very bizarre list, which I'm sure if you're on Twitter, you've seen. If you're not on Twitter, we'll show it for you. So here's the deal. Chris Simms, NBC Sports, currently a NBC Sports analyst, formerly an NFL quarterback, he did his yearly top 40 quarterbacks in the National Football League ranking, and it's ridiculous. It's very dumb. Not just because Jalen Hurts is not in the top 40. I said again, he's not even in the top 40 quarterbacks according to Chris Simms, which is oh man, crazy. But there's some other crazy stuff they put up there that's very controversial as well. So let's just jump right in. We'll go to Chris Simms' tweet here, which has the full list. The easiest way to go ahead and look at that, we'll throw it up on your screen as it is, it's a sight to be seen. So first off, a couple of thoughts here as we throw it up. Again, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. Not a lot of controversy inside the top 5. Other than that, Brady at 10 is getting a lot of hate on Twitter. That's very strange. You have Kyler Murray and Matt Stafford ahead of Tom Brady. Personally, I think that's kind of ridiculous. Cam Newton is 20th on this list ahead of Jimmy Garoppolo and Big Ben Roethlisberger. Also really dumb. But the dumbest part about this is there's no Jalen Hurts. So you're telling me right now that Chris Simms thinks that, wait for it, Drew Lock, Teddy Bridgewater, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyrod Taylor, Marcus Mariota, Kellen Mond, Kellen Mond, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Case Keenum are all better quarterbacks right now than the starting quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Literally, that is what he's telling us right now, is that Kellen Mond, who was a mid-round draft pick, who's going to be a backup quarterback for the Vikings, is better right now overall than Jalen Hurts. And I'm not saying Jalen Hurts was fantastic in the 4 games in Philadelphia last year, but he at least played in the National Football League. Kellen Mond's not even going to play for years. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable. Now, Chris Simms was asked about this in a recent podcast interview, and he defended himself. We'll throw that up on the screen right now. Quote, I didn't do it to create any headlines, right? But the way I look at it, he's not as good as any of the other 40 guys I've got on here. Again, I understand his running, it's good. Throwing, I still have major concerns about, and I can show you tons of throws on film and just go, listen, this is not acceptable in the NFL. So, some of these throws. There's a lot more I've gotten to see from that aspect. I look at Jalen Hurts as still kind of a project and a starting quarterback a little bit. I don't mean this to be disrespectful by default, because of the weird situation in Philadelphia, not necessarily that he grabbed it by the horns and just blew everybody away. Oh my gosh, wow, he's so good. We've got to keep him on the field. No, I've still got too many questions before I can throw him on here yet. Okay, he mentions there are a ton of throws on film that don't work in the National Football League. How about Kellen Mond has 0 throws in the National Football League? This just doesn't make sense. Okay, Hurts is already a top 25 quarterback. He already is a top 25 quarterback because he has played in the National Football League, right? And Tua Tagovailoa last year, you want to talk about NFL throws that didn't work out very well. How about Tua Tagovailoa's film, right? Come on. It's just ridiculous that you would not have Jalen Hurts inside your top 25. And again, to say that the film is the issue, but then also sit back here and have a bunch of guys who have 0 film, Trey Lance, Kellen Mond, Justin Fields. Case Keenum has very little film the past couple of years. How about Mark? You put on Drew Lock's film? Drew Lock was 33rd. You want to put Drew Lock's film up there? It's terrible. Oh my goodness. Put on a couple of the throws from the Green Bay Packer game. Hurts was really good in that. Put a couple of throws from the New Orleans Saints game where he beat the number 1 defense in the National Football League. Again, I'm not saying that Hurts was a world beater last year. I think that there's an argument Chris Simms has that he didn't really grab his starting by the horn, but also look at who he's playing with. Terrible offensive line, a banged up running game, and no one at wide receiver. Ridiculous stuff. Absolutely lunatic stuff here from Chris Simms. Now, quick other story here on Hurts, and that is that Donovan McNabb has reached out to Jalen Hurts and is apparently mentoring Jalen Hurts, which is interesting, and I think is kind of a good thing overall for Jalen Hurts because a lot of people are comparing him to Donovan McNabb. You haven't had a mobile quarterback like that in Philadelphia since McNabb. We can mention Vic as well, but Hurts is more of a McNabb player than a Vic player overall. Here was Donovan McNabb on Jalen Hurts. We'll throw that up on your screen right now. Quote, everywhere he's been, he's won. I know the work that he has put in this offense and who he worked with, so now he just needs to build the chemistry with the coaching staff, have be able to build chemistry throughout the offense with the rest of the players. Do they have enough pieces around to be successful is the question, end quote. My answer to that is yes, they do have enough pieces to be successful. We talked a lot about that here on the channel in terms of what they did this offseason. All right, answer the question down below. Is the Chris Simms list the dumbest list you've ever seen? Be honest, the dumbest list you've ever seen. It's absolutely ridiculous. If you agree, type Y down below for yes. If you disagree, type N down below for no. I want a quick shout out to our friends at Newsbreak and the Newsbreak app. Download the Newsbreak app to keep you up to date with the latest local news, weather, sports, and politics, and more, all at the touch of your button. As when we're easier to follow with the Newsbreak app than a newspaper. It's a lot better than a newspaper as well. Download at chatsports.com/EaglesNB. That link will be down below in the description box. You can also search for us, Eagles Now by Chat Sports, and give us a follow there as well. Again, download this because, again, it's way better than a newspaper, and it gets you guys all the latest and greatest stuff that you want to follow at a touch of a button. chatsports.com/EaglesNB. All right, let's go for a quick Zach Ertz update here because, nothing's happened recently, and so people are wondering and DM me on Twitter asking about the current Zach Ertz situation. So the report is, of course, the Eagles are still, or I should say Ertz is still unhappy with the current situation. He's going to hold out from training camp, and he wants to be traded or cut in order to go ahead and start his final leg of his career with a new football team. Now, Bleacher Report put out a mock trade proposal that sends Ertz to Indianapolis. We'll show you that details here in just 1 second, but we've had that mock trade, even though this one is new. There's been reported that Indy could be the team for months now, and yet here we are, he still remains untraded. It seems like, honestly, teams know the Eagles are up against a wall right now. They expect Philadelphia to cut him at some point, and so you don't have to give up a draft pick. You just sign him, and then it's a lot cheaper overall in the long run. Here's that quick mock draft or mock trade from Bleacher Report with the Colts. They have him giving Philadelphia a 2022 third, which is insane. Like, there's no way you're going to get a third-round draft pick for Zach Ertz because you would have gotten that by now. Like, the longer we wait, it's not like teams are going to offer more. They're going to keep offering less because they know that Zach Ertz is not going to report to training camp. So that was your mock trade. Very bizarre trade overall. Now, FanSided put up an interesting thought here on the Colts in terms of if they could move some things around to create some space for Zach Ertz. I'll throw the quote up on the screen right now. Ertz has proven he's one of the most dynamic tight ends in the league, but the Colts drafting Kylen Granson crowds the room a bit. Perhaps releasing Jack Doyle to free up cap space would be an answer here since he's clearly not the player he once was. Mo Alley-Cox has proven to be a better all-around option. 2, the Colts can very much upgrade if they can stomach trading another draft pick to the Eagles. This move has more than one benefit, however. Ertz reuniting with Wentz will help the quarterback get used to his surroundings much more quickly, which will be crucial because he has 2 years to prove he's going to stick around the long term, end quote. Okay. That's fine. And listen, I think the Colts with Zach Ertz would be a good thing, but there's no way they're going to get a third-round draft pick for him. Like, Bleacher Report is crazy here. The best Philly can get is a fourth. Like, the absolute best. If they got a fourth for Zach Ertz right now, I'd be like, wow, Eagles got a pretty good deal right there because you're not going to get a second, you're not going to get a third because he's aging, he's been injured, his decline has been very clear in the statistical category, and he doesn't want to be in Philadelphia, so they know that the Eagles have to trade him at some point or end up cutting him and getting absolutely nothing in return. So there really isn't that big of an update, and again, you sit back and you go, well, I mean, you hope someone offers, and the whole hope this trade comes true, but in the end, I think he's going to go ahead and be cut, and honestly, Eagles can still save money that way. They'll still save $8 million in the next couple of seasons and then give the reins over to Zach Ertz, or to Dallas Goedert, who's going to be the number 1 tight end this year and hopefully can be a star at the tight end position. I'll ask you guys this. What will happen to Zach Ertz? Like, in the end, I've asked this a couple of times, but I want to know your recent thoughts on this. Will they trade him? If you think so, type T down below for trade. Think that they will go ahead and cut him? Well, that's a different story. They go down below and type C for cut. I think, again, he's going to be cut. Unless a team is going to offer a 4th or a 5th, and Philly just says, Uncle, let's just do it, trade him away. And if it's Indy, then you trade him to a team that you think he'd like to play with, because, again, Frank Reich and Carson Wentz are there. It'd probably be a benefit to him overall. But I think in the end, he's going to go ahead and be cut, so I would type C down below. But what do you think? Type T down below for trade, or if you think he's going to be cut, then go down below and type C down below for cut. All right, jump into our final story here on Philadelphia Eagles now. A quick update on the Kelly Green jersey situation. You've seen this on Twitter. I'm sure you have. There's that report that the NFL is going to allow teams to wear multiple helmets in 2022, starting in 2022, which if you don't fully understand the rule, the NFL is only letting them wear one type of helmet because they wanted the players to practice in the same helmets they would wear during games for concussion reasons. That's been lifted, which of course, because you have the same helmet with different decals, right? It's kind of stupid that was even a rule. But people are like, oh my goodness, this opens up the door for the Eagles to wear their Kelly Green jerseys with the Kelly Green helmets, because they could wear the Kelly Green jerseys, but it'd be with the new Midnight Green helmets this year, and that, of course, wouldn't work and wouldn't look good at all. Now, the problem is, this is new, you guys are going to like this, a source has said that the Eagles have already submitted their uniform selection for 2022 in terms of the alternate uniform, and they chose their black jerseys, which I love. Their black jerseys are absolutely fantastic. So if this is true, and they already have submitted their uniform selection, then they will not be able to wear Kelly Green in 2022 once the new rule is in place. So the earliest Philadelphia could wear the Kelly Green jerseys is 2023, which, if you go back in history, is probably going to be likely in terms of what is going to happen. Jeffrey Lurie, the Eagles owner and CEO, was asked about this in 2017, again, a couple of years ago, but I think his thoughts probably remain the same. I'll throw the quote up on the screen. I'd love to see it. I love the Midnight Green. I think it's great, but I also want the Kelly Green. I'd love for us to have both, and some games have one, some games have the other. I think that would be more fun, end quote. I agree. Personally, I love the midnight green. Now, I'm young. I'm only 25 years old, so I grew up with the midnight green. I'm not older growing up with the Kelly green, and I think midnight green is the Eagle color. I like the whites. I think the blacks are actually fantastic for late night Sunday night football games, and the greens. Like I like the jerseys as they are. I think they're one of the best jerseys in the National Football League in terms of overall look. I would be fine, though, with a couple of games, maybe in prime time, going back to the Kelly green jerseys, as, of course, you saw during the Eagles Chip Kelly era whenever they had the Kelly green for the opener. Was it Chip Kelly? It might still have been Andy Reid, but the opener against Green Bay when Vic came in and Kevin Cobb got hurt. Like, we've seen it recently in the past, but I'm still a midnight green guy. I'm not like the Eagle fan who wants to go full Kelly green back to Kelly green. I think Kelly green is an alternate option in 2023 is fine by me and it will look great, but keep the midnight green as my overall stance on the current jersey situation. All right, ultimate for today here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. Make sure you guys are subscribed. The mailbag is going to come up in the next couple of days, so make sure you get your comments down below and be subscribed to be able to be chosen. Again, ultimate for today on Philadelphia Eagles Now. I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off to the rest of your day.